door frame, I can get a new computer, I can get all that stuff. I just wanted him to leave kindly, and maybe we fix this later, but he just didn't leave.
So, just so that I'm clear, because I'm pretty sure I am, but I'm going to just go through it one more time. The door was shut. Did he knock?
No.
Did he try to twist the door handle?
I don't know.
Did he come into this house already pissed off? And,
Yes.
And did you think he used his shoulder, or?
I think he both his hands, like seconds before he threw that chair in there, and that's why I got up and stood in front of the door, because I went to shut it, because first of all, like I said, I have a dog. I don't like him running all over the place, and second of all, I was scared, and I would rather a door be between us. Like, the whole day I've been trying to lay in my bed and ignoring him, but he keeps calling me names, like, pushing me, coming up and, like, taking my stuff, and it just got too much. And, like, I'm missing class right now, like.
I mean, this probably doesn't have a definite answer for sure, but as far as moving forward, are you done with him?
Yeah.
Would you like him to serve criminal trespass for this apartment?
No.
Okay.
I don't want any charges on him.
Well, and I understand that, but being the fact that y'all are in an intimate relationship and he does live here, that's not for you to decide right now.
It's like, this is me, like, he's not on the lease, he's on nothing.
Does not
that
matter. Where does he come every night on a normal day? Where does he come and lay his head?
Here.
If I said, Mr. Carter, what's your address? What would he tell me?
He doesn't even know this address.
But this is where he would say, I live in Hawthorne, apartment 92.
Probably.
This, lease or not, he's established this is his residency, okay? No, that's why. So he's established this as home, and whether he's on the lease or not, it's just like every couple. I mean, the wife owns the home, and the husband moves in. That is his residence. Now, just because his name's on the mortgage, does that make it any less his home?
No.
So that's a similar situation with a residency in a situation such as this.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So just because he's not on the lease does not mean that this isn't still home for him. This is where he comes to lay his head. This is where his belongings are. This is where he would consider home. And because of that, this situation is going to change things a little differently than in most situations. In a typical situation, if you said you got to go, and he said, no, this is my home, I could not, nor could you forcefully make him leave. Now, in a situation where it wouldn't have escalated to this point, you'd have to serve him an eviction through the magistrate court in order to formally remove him from this home.
Question. I'm so sorry. But on Henley properties, it's not allowed to have these, like, not allowed to be here. So,
Correct.
So how is that?
All of it still very much applies.
But also,
even if we say that we also live here,
Correct.
And we don't want him in here, he still
Correct.
He still
By law.
Isn't it, but this is just me, like, actually, I don't know. Isn't it by law that he has to have mail sent here? Because he could be lying and saying, like, obviously he's not, but, like, this is just me also, like, I don't ever want to be put in this situation again.
Right.
Like, if he, like, who says, like, he could also say that he's been living at 93 Hawthorne Court.
Temple.
Like,
And if all of his...
because none of this stuff is here. You have no proof, like, there's nothing saying he's here.
Correct. But everybody has agreed, as well as him, that this is where he's been living.
Yeah, okay,
and
I
so,
understand. I just wanted to...
residency isn't necessarily, like I said, on paperwork. It doesn't mean that he has to have mail sent here. Now, if it's questionable and we have to start digging, so they're never here, okay, none of their stuff's here, they said they live here, then we might start furthering into, did they get mail, did they do this? But, even y'all said y'all lived somewhere else previous, and then he kind of moved into here as well, and you guys are both kind of sharing the space. It's a hairy situation that gets handled within a court system, but as far as one would be concerned, I would say even though he's not on the lease, regardless of what Henley property it says is okay or not okay, this would be considered a residence. This for him. And so that's kind of what that plays into. Okay. But because of the situation, it has escalated to this point. Now we've got property damage, which you will be responsible for, whether you've got the money to pay for it or not.
Yeah.
Whether you care if it's a big deal or not, we've still got damage. Behavior such as this, whether it be that you have boyfriends, girlfriends, cousins, sisters, family, friends, come over when property starts getting damaged and it gets reported, especially when it's on the radar of Henley Properties. If there's enough of this that occurs and it's enough of a problem, they can evict you from the property because of the amount of damage and the negative police presence. So, but the reason I'm asking about the criminal trespasses is basically what it is I explained to him that he is no longer allowed to own this property, cannot come back to this apartment, this apartment, he goes to jail for simply returning. If that's something you would be interested in. Now understand with that, if he does have property here, there is a correct way to do it. And that is either he call or you call and say, he does have property here. He and I are no longer an item. Can an officer either stand by, or his family can come on his behalf to collect his belongings, or your family, or however you arrange it, mutual friend, family, whatever, that he can, and he does have the right to his property.
Yes.
So if that's something you guys can arrange, whether it be, like I said, with friends or family, or we have to come stand by, we'll kind of be here to mediate if that's what needs to be done, so that he can collect whatever is left of his. But if he gets served a criminal trespass, he cannot just simply show up. He can't do this, and that. Like, it needs to be permission to come get the belongings. If that be, ideally, him not being here would be the best option. But if it means that we stand here so that he can collect it, so that you can truly go your separate ways, that is an option as well. So if you would like him served criminal trespass, we can absolutely do that.
What does that just mean? That, like, that's just, he just can't come back? There's nothing gonna be, like, on him or anything?
I mean, it means he's just been told he's not allowed to return to his property.
So he can't, like, I'm saying this is, like, he goes to get a job, like, is that gonna...
No, it's just paperwork in our computer system.
Okay,
So that if we come back over here in like 2 days, because your ex-boyfriend's over here banging on the door, he won't leave, he's been served criminal trespass, we get over here, he's out here, he goes to jail for just being on the property, because he's already been told and explained he cannot come back.
I would like that.
Okay, I'll make sure he gets served that as well. I've taken pictures of this. If y'all will continue working on your statements for me, and then I'll get those as well
So
afterwards.
he won't be able to come, back? Because I'm just nervous because I'm scared that he's gonna be malicious to like my animals or.
Well, that's what we were discussing with the criminal trespass. So he's going to be asked to not come back.
Okay. That's
Are you okay?
Yeah.
I live here.
So I'm going to go out there and discuss the criminal trespass with him. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now, and you can be pissed at me if you want, I am taking him to jail. The extensive history between you two, the property damage in itself, is concerning. And so this is, and understand, this is not your choice, this is mine, okay? In a
Why did
domestic,
you want to call you guys?
well, I would rather you call me this way than me coming in here because now you're dead, okay? So if you want to be pissed at me, I'll give you my card and you can cuss me when I leave. I don't care.
I know you're doing
so-
doing a really good job.
Like I explained before, in a situation where it's a domestic situation, being that y'all lived here, if you have children together or whatever it is that, you know, it would constitute an intimate relationship. If the victim doesn't want to press charges, the state of Georgia, being me, I have the choice to override your decision and I can take him to jail. Correct. I'll explain all of it to him. I have absolutely no issue with that whatsoever. Obviously, he's not driving. I believe he's still out there.
He is.
Obviously, he's not driving, so his car will be out there. I will allow him to lock it. Please, 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 do not touch it.
Can you move it from right there to over there?
I cannot drive it. We're going to leave it there for the time being.
He always says that we have such limited parking, and he's like, right there.
I understand. And if that's something that he wants to give you or someone else permission to do, I cannot move it. But for the time being, we'll lock it up. We'll leave it there. And then if he's got family or you've got family or someone, I can ask him if he wants to leave the key. He doesn't know yet he's going to jail. Okay? He has no idea.
He has no idea.
No clue.
I'm so...
So understand that situations that get to this point, not only does it put you at risk, it puts your roommates at risk, it puts your family at risk.
He's like I said, he said he was going to put a hit on me, like, he literally told me last night that he already put one on my dad, like...
He doesn't know anybody that he's going to take a hit on anyone. I can tell you by looking at him right now.
That's what though...
He doesn't know what he explained to me and said it multiple times. He has one of these right here and he likes to go off at the mouth and he says a lot of things.
He lies like constantly.
Well, and for the most part, the stories that you both given me match up-ish. The argument started over, you know, a discussion of where the relationship was going. Ultimately, he decided to collect some belongings, began to put it in the car. His version is obviously different than yours, but ultimately the damage to the door was as a result of the door being shut. Now, his version said the door was locked. He got pissed and like, I guess, went to push it open thinking it was unlocked, and that's what broke the door hand or the door frame. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, they do not break that easy. Okay, if you go to try to unlock one of these doors that's locked and you go to walk into it like that, it's not gonna break it.
Well,
All right.
happened before, like, I've shut it and locked it.
So regardless of whether you locked it or you didn't,
Jail.
well, I'm taking him. Yeah, I'm taking him. It's my choice. I'll take him to jail. I honestly, it's one of those things that if it saves more grief for families and for friends, it's fine for me. All right, it's my choice. It's not yours.
I guess.
He's not gonna be there for a long time, Nikki. It'll be fine.
Understand you will not be allowed to bond him out. Okay. So, and I know that I'll make sure to stress that, because a lot of the people that in a situation such as this, some I've seen that are just much worse, and the female is more pissed at me than maybe the male or vice versa, whoever I'm locking up, because they don't want their other half going to jail, and they're upset with me for doing it. They will try to go bond them out, but you will not be eligible to do that. Well, I think 18 is I would get. I've never even had to ask that question, to be honest with you, but just in case that's something that's crossed your mind, they won't let you do it because you're the victim, okay? I'm going to include pictures, the statements, if you don't mind, y'all just finishing them up for me, and then, make sure I'll get those and take them, but he's going to Bullitt County Sheriff's Office. His car will be here unless something else is figured out. I can ask if he wants to leave the keys. Maybe he can call a parent or friend to come get it. However, if it is left here, I know it's a pain, I know it's not the ideal spot. If it's left here, please don't mess with it. Nobody damage it, nobody try to break into it. I've said this before, and we literally had to lock up a young lady for breaking into her ex-boyfriend's car, and then burglary for breaking into his apartment after I took him to jail. So I say all these things because in the past I have said them again, and it was not heard.
Is this, I think I'm kind of scared.
No, you do not need to be scared of him. He's going to the jail.
I'm not saying that, but like,
there will be a bond agreement. So when it comes time to somebody does find it in their heart to bond him out, part of the terms of his bond will include an explanation from the jail that says, you understand you are not to be around her. You understand you are not to communicate with her. You understand that you are not to go to the home. You understand that you are not to interact with her whatsoever at all. So that's the terms of his bond. That's his agreeing. That's what he's getting in exchange for his freedom. Okay, so he's not supposed to talk to you when he gets bonded out. I recommend you go ahead and just block his number.
okay.
Don't communicate. If it means you also speak with your family and say, hey, look, he's going to the jail for what happened today. That's where he's going to be. If he tries to reach out to you guys, starts being threatening or whatever, the more that he does, the more charges he's going to end up collecting. So the best thing he can do is when I tell him that it's time to go, best thing he's going to do is going to get them handcuffs. He ain't going to give me a problem. That's what. Do you have one in yours? My form's in there. All right. So she kind of gave me a rundown on everything that happened today. Ultimately, you both were on the same page and being that.
I'll pay for everything.
Well, but y'all are on the same page for long term, and that means that y'all don't want to leave. Y'all are wanting to go your separate ways.
Yeah.
All right. So I understand there might be some miscellaneous items of yours inside the apartment still.
Any of that would be handled a few weeks from now after things.
Right. Well, and like I explained to her, so.
Okay. Let me stand up.
The property inside is yours. You are entitled to your property. All right. I've explained to her as well. Do not deprive him of it. Now, what she has requested per the, I'd say, concern as well with the roommates is it's called a criminal trespass. Okay. This is just a piece of paper.
Okay. Can I get restraining orders on everyone that lives there though?
Okay. We don't do restraining orders.
Okay. Well, who am I going to get with?
Okay. You're going to have to get with the judge.
Okay. Word.
So this is what this is. All right. So this is a criminal trespass warning. All right.
I know how those work. You're fine.
Okay. So then if you understand that works, please make sure you regurgitate that to me so that I understand that you understand.
Yeah, I read all this, I put my information down, I sign it, acknowledge I'm not allowed to come back on this premise.
You can read it if you want to.
Yeah.
But your name, information, you just need to explain, or you need to acknowledge to me and that you understand that you are not coming back over here.
Yeah, I understand that. I won't.
Outside of coming back over here, you ain't gonna get in trouble for being over here, but after you acknowledge that you know you're not supposed to be here and you come back, even if she invites you, you can get in trouble. Now, I also, like I was going with the property, all right? Your stuff's here.
We have mutual friends we can handle it through.
I offered that option as well as family. If you are fine coming over here getting it, call us.
Okay.
We'll stand over here. We'll let you go in and grab what you need to if you don't have friends or family willing to do that on your behalf.
Okay.
But what I need y'all to do is to just, at this point, is just leave each other alone.
Yeah,
okay?
down, I got you.
Before somebody gets really hurt. So, once that's done, you understand that you just don't come back over here. If she tries to call you over here, tell her, look, you understand I've signed that criminal trespass. I can't come over there. This is indefinite, all right?
Okay.
It goes into the system for all of time.
Yeah.
Even if she doesn't live here, all right? You can't come back over to this apartment.
Yep. I do it from my address, correct? Up top?
That'll be fine.
Okay.
Whatever will come back on your driver's license will likely be the address that...
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Is that where your parents live?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a little sloppy,
That's fine.
but you can tell what it means.
Yeah, you just sign
Yeah,
on the.
you want me to? Okay,
No, just sign
that,
on the
I'll do that.
X.
Okay.
Yep. Simply just acknowledging that you understand what's being asked of you.
Yes, ma'am.
If I were in a situation like this, I'd want to know where I wasn't allowed to be.
Yeah.
That seems fair, right?
I got you.
Any questions about this whatsoever?
No. I mean, the contacting is going to be through the restraining order that I'm going to get, so that's fine.
Restraining orders are going to be,
I got how those work. I got it.
Yep.
Good judge.
so that's going to be handled in the court system. We don't do anything with the restraining orders. Criminal trespass situations involve property, so houses, apartments, locations of such. Okay. A restraining order covers a person. A person is not handled through us. That's going to be handled through a court system.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to turn around. Put your hands behind your back for me.
Okay.
All right. So you're going to go to jail today for criminal trespass, family violence. All right, for the damage done to the apartment and the door, as well as the wall. Understand this is not her choice. All right. She's asked me not to do this. However, state of Georgia, that would be me. We'll be taking you to jail for that today. Okay.
Okay.
The state of Georgia has the choice in a situation like this, a domestic violence situation, on whether or not to press charges. I have chosen to press charges today. All right. I've explained to her your car will be here. If you've got a friend or family or somebody that would be willing to come pick it up, I can leave a key here, or you can leave it
Can we
secure.
just go to the prison now? We're good. I know how this works.
Okay. I'm trying to.
Yeah, my car's here. I can get someone to come get her and get towed.
Okay. I'm trying to offer your options. If you don't want to hear them, that's completely fine with me as well. But what I'm doing.
I'm sorry I'm getting short with you. I know.
I'm trying to make sure you understand, all right? I've been as kind as I can. I thought I've done a good job explaining and being in calm with everybody here, okay? I've explained to her, don't touch the car. Don't move the car. Don't break the car. Don't break into the car. That goes to all the roommates as well. They've been explained to thoroughly not to touch it. If it's going to be here, if it's not locked and you have a key, I'm happy to lock it for you to make sure it's secure.
I think the key is either sitting in there or in one of my pockets.
Okay.
In the front seat. Can you check my pockets?
Sure. Well, I got to search you anyway, so here, if you walk up against the car right here, that way it'll...
Gotcha. Wallet. Phone. There might be a vapor lighter in there, and then my vapes and lighters in my other pocket.
All right, so this stuff ain't going to go to the jail. I'm happy to put it in the car for you if you want it to go there.
Yeah, just if we can, just lock it all up. Like put it all in the front seat, under the
That's
front
fine.
seat, and then
We'll make sure your stuff's secure.
okay, I'm just telling you, and then there's going to be a key right there on the front seat somewhere, or in the thing. Can you just pop the gas tank and just let it in there halfway open?
All right.
Can I look? Can you mind if I look?
That's fine. Go ahead if you want to.
Okay. It might be. It's in the English, and that's what that beeping means.
Okay.
So if you wanna grab that.
This right here is what you's in there. You have cash in your wallet?
No, ma'am.
All right, just be sure. I'm making sure that way you can see everything's in here. Your ID's in here.
Yeah.
That way, when it goes to the jail with you, you know it was in it. All right.
These are all gonna be on the floorboard, and then you.
Can you? There's the latch on the bottom that says push at the bottom where the feet by feet go, right there. Can you push that down and then just put it in there in the gas tank?
All right. Floor. You walk over here with me. Passenger side will be fine.
You want the car?
Can I get you secure?
Ma'am, just don't close it all the way, please.
Yeah.
They've been advised not to touch, so you come back out here and scratch. They've been advised not to touch it, so if you come back out here, it's scratch damage, property's missing, car is gone outside of your permission from whoever you've given it to come get it, let us know. I tried to make sure.
How do I get in this? I'm
Here,
sorry.
Shane. No, you're fine. What you'll do, put face towards me,
Yes, ma'am.
and then kind of like, I would say
Just
squat
sit
down
in.
a little bit. Yep.
Okay.
Watch your noggin. It's not meant for tall people. I'm gonna reach over here and buckle you up real quick. So I've made sure she understands as well. Just because you're the one going to jail today does not mean that she gets to steal, break, damage.
And there's going to be a bunch of countersuits on her dad for gang violence, threatening.
Well, and if that's something that you want to do, that's absolutely your right to do. I would recommend, as I have to her, that y'all just cease communicating with one another, because right now it's escalating between you guys, and it's escalating involving family, it's involving friends, and it's just getting out of
I
hand.
agree, and that's why I was trying to leave, but she has for months been not letting me leave. Anytime I offered and tried to, she's hidden my keys and trying to make me stay. So I don't see why I'm getting arrested for this whenever I've been trying to leave. And I offered to pay that stuff before they let me.
I understand that, and I commend you on that. However, it doesn't make the actions of breaking it okay.
But she slammed the door in my face as I'm walking through a door. How is that okay?
Was the door locked?
I think it was. As I went to turn the handle to walk through, it did not turn. No, that's what I told you before whenever you came out here.
Because she said it was unlocked.
Well,
and
she
that
was
you,
in front of the door whenever she was locking it, whenever she slammed in my face. So how do you know she wasn't leaning
okay,
against it?
regardless, there's a way to open a door without causing the door frame to be broken.
And I was pushing, and she kept that door handle from turning, and that's why the the knob got stuck and pulled the wood. That's how that works.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Those doors are actually pretty secure, and it takes quite a bit to damage a door frame.
I'm a big
Ask
guy.
me how I know.
didn't mean to.
You're not that big. Ask me how I know.
Okay. And
Okay.
I didn't put that much force.
Regardless,
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
actions
I'm
today
sorry.
were inappropriate between you guys,
agree.
and and I know this isn't ideal, but let's just be glad this is where it stopped.
I agree. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
It's been in that seat this week. All right. So we'll come to this one. Slow this down. It's here. All right. So I'll put my card here. Name, information, in case you need the report. Whatever. Number for this report if you need copies of it. Okay. Here's your phone as well. I'm gonna put that right there. They'll come over to you in just a sec.